Hello, this is Uncle Jim. Planning to shoot some 10 millimeter today and test out some of 6-shooter Texans bullets he sent me. But I got sidetracked. So I thought I'd bring you along for a minute here. So I was going to shoot two pistols here. And the Rock Island 1911 uses like a metal form type mag. It's a very good mag. It works awesome. But it only came with one. So locally, we found a couple Magar mags in 10 millimeter. And then I was rummaging around my beater mag collection, and I found this. And on the bottom it said 10 millimeter question mark, and sure enough, it's a metal Magar mag. However, it's slightly different on the follower. So the new mag here has a more broad, rounded edge on the follower, and the older one has a shorter one with a more protruding bump here. Other than that, they're basically the same. So this had no spring tension. I mean, it was just weak. So I put it in the gun and it didn't rack back. So I take it apart and found this in there. All right, and this has no business being in there. This looks like a 9 millimeter spring. And that explains why it didn't have spring tension, or very much. It would still, load and, feed rounds by hand, but it wouldn't rack the gun back. So I figured, okay, I'll go through some beater mags and just rob a 45 mag spring and put it in here, because I didn't have any magazine springs for this in my stash of springs. So I picked one out and took this down. Now, neither one of these have removable base plates, so you got to do it like Grandpa did. And so I put a 45 spring in it, and the tension is perfect. Everything looks good, except for I ran into another snag. So when I put this back, I could hear a little clicking, and this stubby end of the follower here is actually touching the mag body just a little bit, and it's perfectly fine if you got rounds in it, okay, even one round, but it's glitching right here. So I put it in the gun, and it wouldn't even, maybe I'll show you. Okay, we're empty. I put it in the gun, and it's like, wait a minute, this isn't going in nice at all. Right here, it's like, it's not even fully seating. So, of course, I checked the slots here on the mag for the mag release catch, and they're identical. So it wasn't that, but it wouldn't fully seat and lock in. And so I looked down the gun. Well, maybe I'll show you here. That's the wrong one. Nope, now it's working. Okay. No, okay, now I did it again. It's about 1/4 inch, it won't go in. So I look in here with the flashlight, and what's happening is this piece of the follower here that's protruding, unlike the newer ones, is hitting on the corner of the mag body and not allowing the slide stop or slide release to move when this goes in, okay, because this is locked up because of this. And I'm like, son of a bitch. So all is not lost. This is like a free mag. A lot of these I got free, and this is going to be like having a free mag, so that's good. All we need to do is take a little bit off of this and polish it back off. So we'll do that. So for you guys that don't know, how you take your old school 1911 mags apart is well, I can show you with this one. Take a dowel or a pen or something about the same width, because when you go putting it back, this is the wrong spring, but you want the width to push the spring down when you're putting the follower in. And so what you want to do, I like to put this against my chest and look through the holes. But basically, well, let's do this. Okay, for one, 1911 mag sometimes will have a little notch here to retain the top of the spring. Okay, so it's holding it in this notch. And then once the spring tension is off of it, sometimes you can just shake the follower out. Other times on this Chip McCormick style, you pinch these and then it'll come out. Okay? On this one, you don't have to do that because it doesn't have this same style. Let me find you. Okay, there's a 45 mag that's similar. You can't pinch them, they're just that way. Okay, so all right, so anyway, take something that'll go through this, and what you want to do is retain the spring right below the follower. So bring it down. I'm going to put it against my chest here, then I'll show you. It's much easier to see the holes and where we're at. Okay, sometimes you have to go lower, but in this case you don't. So you should be able to see that shakes right out. And then in here, the very top of the spring is pointing up, so that can fuss with you sometimes if you don't get it right. But basically, you're just capturing the spring without hitting this right at the top of there. All right. So I'm going to leave this in there. And what we need to do is take a little bit of this off right here. And it should be good to go. And I want to test that when I do the shooting today to make sure it works. I'll keep it marked. So I'm going to pull this out again. Okay. I'm going to pull this out again so I can mark it where it's rubbing. Okay. And it shouldn't really affect anything because this is tight from here to here, so you're not changing anything there. And that should solve the problem. I noticed it because I could feel a clicking here. So we'll fix that. Alright, so I handed this over to the son because he knew where this was. He keeps the battery inside when it's cold. If you don't have one of these, oh, you don't know what you're missing. So he used coarse Scotch-Brite and then polished it. Okay, so he said it took 2 minutes. And let's do a close-up here. And you'll never know because it looks like it was finished from the factory. Okay. So let's see how that works. Okay, we'll put it back together and test it out. Now, I left the top of that spring. I should have had that retained. It'll make your life a lot easier. But on this follower, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have the retainer clip. So on this one, it's really easy. Just go in towards the flat here. Bam. Okay, now let's see. Oh, night and day. That was just a few thousandths. I hear something clicking down here. Oh, it's the other side. Okay. And that doesn't matter in the gun. So let's try that. more empty. Okay, the mag goes in easy. Locks back because that part had nothing to do with it. Now let's see if it goes in every time without. I'm going to try and make it go to the left, but again, see this square portion? It can't do this, so this doesn't affect that. On a different type of follower, you might have to look out for that. Same with here. And we're good. So, got another mag basically for free, except for the spring, but I need to get springs anyway for backups. So 45 mag spring works in this, at least this style of magazine, and we'll test that in the next video. Alright, thanks for watching. Until next time.